Student, I think you are all happy and fine. After a long time, we are going to start our lesson. First of all, I wish you everybody good health and stay safe. The lesson we are going to start is lesson number 5 and the chapter name is Isaac Newton. First of all, I am going to read the lesson. Students, you see the lesson carefully and you read the lesson properly. So let's start the lesson. Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton was a very famous scientist who came up with the law of gravity. Gravity is what makes objects fall towards the ground and makes the earth go around the sun. As a student, Newton faced a number of challenges. His inquiring nature led him to make many discoveries. Read on to find out more about his life. Isaac Newton was a shy, quiet boy who grew up on a farm in England about 300 years ago. Nobody in his school paid much attention to him. Sir, could you please explain what this means? Isaac, you ask too many questions. Concentrate on learning what is given in the book. When he was young, Isaac lived on a farm with his mother. One day, there was a storm. Isaac, hurry up and shut all the doors and windows. There's a terrible storm coming. Isaac went out, but he did not come back. When his mother went looking for him, she found him testing the power of the strong wind. Isaac, what do you think you are doing? Why are you jumping off the fence? Mother, look how far the wind is carrying me. Isn't this exciting? Isaac studied diligently, and when he grew up, he became a professor of mathematics at Cambridge University. Have you heard what's happened? Isaac has become a professor. One day, Isaac was back home. Walking around his farm, he saw an apple fall from a tree to the ground. I wonder why apples always fall down, why they never float upwards. I have found that everything pulls all other things to itself by a force called gravity. Gravity is what makes an apple fall down and not float away in any other direction. Isaac explained that it was gravity which made the earth and comets go around the sun. For a long time, people did not believe him and they scoffed at his theories. Then a comet appeared just as Edmund Halley had predicted. Halley had predicted the appearance of the comet using Isaac's theories. This was enough to convince the people that Isaac was right all along. This is a miracle. Halley's comet has made its appearance exactly as predicted. One day, Isaac bought a prism at a village fair. Does this mean that sunlight has many colors hidden in it? I have to find out. What a wonderful piece of triangular glass this is. I can see so many colors when the sun shines on it. To find the answer, Isaac had to do some experiments. He first adjusted his blinds to get a very thin beam of sunlight. I am going to let this thin beam of light hit the prism. Look at this. The light has broken up into so many wonderful colors. Isaac had discovered that sunlight, which looks white in color, is actually made up of many different colors. In fact, you can see this in nature too in a rainbow. Isaac Newton was one of the most influential scientists of his time. When asked for an assessment of his achievements, he replied, I do not know what I may appear to the world, but to myself I seem to have been only like a boy playing on the seashore and diverting myself now and then in finding a smoother pebble or prettier shell than ordinary, while the great ocean of truth lay all undiscovered before me. So children, you saw the lesson nicely, I think. Now I'm going to explain the lesson. So you student, please give attention to your lesson and try to understand the lesson well. Now we already came to know that the lesson is about a person, a famous person, and that person name is Isaac Newton. Now first of all, we have to know that when he was born, where he was born, and when did he die. Isaac Newton was born on 4th January 1643 in United Kingdom, or we can shortly tell it UK, and he died on 31st March 1727 at Kensington. Now, we already, while reading them only, we came to know that Isaac Newton was a very famous scientist, and he was the person who came up with the law of gravity. And first of all, student, we have to know that what is gravity. I think in science you have already learned about gravity. Gravity is that makes object fall towards the ground and makes the earth go around the sun. Means whenever we throw anything upward, the thing never goes up, but it used to come back to the earth itself. And this is because of the gravity. As a student, Newton had to face a number of challenges in his life, because whenever he used to tell something good to the people, people used to not believe him, and they used to think that Isaac Newton was leading them in not a good path. Now, student, you see what happened. His inquiring nature led him to make many discoveries, and he wanted to know the things very properly. And if he get anything new, he tried to study, or he tried to experiment on that thing, or he tried to learn it, that how, where, and from it came, and what will happen in future. He used to study and study about that thing, and at the end he used to get the fruit, or he used to get the result. Now, student, we are going to see what kind of boy Isaac Newton was. Isaac Newton was a shy, quiet boy who grew up on a farm in England about 300 years ago. Now, he was a shy boy. He was a very cool and calm and quiet boy, and he did not grow up in town or city, but he grew up on a farm in England, and that is 300 years ago. And from this we can able to know that he was a very much nature lover, or he was a nature lover. And when he was a student like you, nobody used to give attention, or nobody used to give interest to him in his school, because everybody thinks that he used to simply disturb the class, and he used to simply ask the teacher question after question. So what happened, you see, if he gets anything doubt, he used to ask that how the thing became or what will happen in future. And therefore, to clear his doubt, he used to ask, "Sir, could you please explain what this means?" He wanted to know the thing nicely, and therefore he used to request his teacher to explain the thing nicely so that he could able to understand it well. But student, you see what the reply used to come from the teacher. The teacher used to scold him, and the teacher used to tell him, "Isaac, you ask too many questions." Means Isaac used to do question after question to this teacher, and he wanted to know the things very nicely. And for that purpose only, he used to ask question to his teacher. But the teacher used to feel angry, and the teacher used to scold him and tell him that you concentrate on learning what is given in the book. And the teacher used to tell him, or the teacher used to warn him to give interest on learning what is given in the book, and no need to learn more. But student, is it good? We cannot ask any question to our teachers or what? Students, we can ask any question to the teacher to clear our doubt. So students, if you have any doubt in the class, you can ask your teacher nicely and you can clear up your doubt so that you can able to understand the thing very properly. Now you see next. When he was young, Isaac lived on a farm. And during his childhood, what Isaac used to do? Isaac used to live on a farmhouse, on a farm with whom? With his mother. Now Isaac used to live on a farmhouse with his mother. Now, whatever you see, one day there was a storm. And student, storm means you know only and you have seen only. Also, storm is that a heavy, a fast wind, fast moving wind, which is to break trees, which is to uproot plants and many things, and that is only known as storm. Isaac, hurry up and shut all the doors and windows. And when the storm was coming, his mother told him that Isaac, you go quickly and you shut all the doors and windows, because there's a terrible storm coming. And if you'll not close the doors and windows, the doors and windows may get broke. And therefore you run and close the or shut all the doors and windows. Isaac went out as his mother ordered him, but he did not come back. And for a long time when he was not there, his mother went out for searching him, and his mother was going and going, and at the end she found Isaac, that Isaac was testing the power of the strong wind. And from this we can understand that Isaac also want to fly, want to um, fly or want to fly, and therefore he himself tried testing testing the power of the strong wind. Now what happened, you see, student? Isaac, what do you think you are doing? Now mother became angry to see Isaac and asking that what do you think you are doing? Why are you jumping off the fence? And mother was shouting that, why you are jumping off the fence? Mother, look how far the wind is carrying me. Isn't this exciting? Now Isaac was shouting to his mother, Mother, you look at me. How far the wind is carrying me. How far the wind is taking me. Isn't this exciting? It's not a happy moment. It's not an exciting. Now, slowly, Isaac grew up and Isaac studied diligently. Means Isaac studied very nicely with hard labor. And when he grew up, he became a professor of mathematics at Cambridge University. And you know that, students, Cambridge University is a very famous university. Understood? And Isaac Newton became the mathematics became the professor of mathematics. Now what happened, you see? Have you heard what happened? Isaac has become a professor. Now, what Isaac became? Now Isaac became a professor. Who would have thought that Isaac would one day teach others? And no student thought that one day Isaac would become a famous mathematician at the Cambridge University. Now, what happened, you see, student? One day, Isaac was back home, walking around his farm. He saw an apple fall from a tree to the ground. Now, one day, Isaac was back home. Isaac returned home, and he was walking around his farm. He was moving around his farm, and he saw an apple fall from the tree to the ground. And Isaac was surprised to see an apple fall from a tree to the ground. I wonder why apples always fall down. No. He was telling that why he wondered why when apples always fell down. Why do they never float upwards? And he was asking that why they never float upward. I have found that everything pulls all other things to itself by a force called gravity. Now we have already learned about gravity. Gravity is that everything pulls all other things to itself by a force called gravity. Now if you'll sit under a mango tree, then you will see that all the mangoes used to fall down. It used to not goes up. Because of what? Student, because of gravity. And gravity is what makes an apple fall down and not float. And because of the gravity only, apples used to fall down and they do not float away in any other direction. Isaac explained that it was gravity which made the earth and comets go around the sun. For a long time, people did not believe him and they scoffed at his tortoise. Now, Isaac explained that it was because of gravity which made the earth and comets go around the sun. For a long time, people did not believe him and they scoffed at his theories. And for a long time, people did not believe him and they scoffed at and they talked about somebody in a way that made it clear. Then a comet appeared just as Edmund Halley had predicted. Halley had predicted the appearance of the comet. Now, what did Halley do? Halley had predicted the appearance of the comet using Isaac's theories. This was enough to convince the people that Isaac was right all along. This is a miracle. Halley's comet has made its appearance exactly as predicted. And telling that what? This is a miracle. Halley's comet has made its appearance, means Halley's comet was appeared exactly as predicted, as it was told before. Like that only the Halley's comet appeared. One day, Isaac bought Prism at the village fair. One day, what happened? You see, Isaac went to the village fair, and in the village fair, different types of things were brought. And one night, what did he do? One day, Isaac bought a prism at the village fair. Does this mean that sunlight has many colors hidden in it? I have to find out. Not telling that the sunlight has many colors, which hidden in it. I hope to find out, and he will try to find out. And now you see what a wonderful piece of triangular glass this is. I can see so many colors when the sun shines on it. Now, telling that what a wonderful piece, what a wonderful piece of triangular glass this is. I can see so many colors when the sun shines on it. So students, we are going to end our lesson with this only, and be ready for the next day, and have for 12 finish on the next day. Thank you.